Hello guys, I'm going to talk a bit about uh, corruption in natural resources from the book I have read, Indonesian book. The title is Menguak something. It's in Indonesian language. It means revealing the corruption in natural resources, especially in policy in Indonesia. And therefore, I want to talk about corruption. What I learned from the book is oligarchy. Do you know oligarchy? It's from Greek language. It means small or little. So few people, or maybe less than 10% people in Indonesia have power in everything, almost everything. Like for example, they have plantation and they have TV at the same time, and they have mining, and they have industrial factories. So they become very rich, and therefore they are grouped as oligarchies. I don't know what is in English, but the system is called as oligarchy. I don't know what is in English, but in Indonesia we call it oligarchy, and it really interests me. Another difficult word which interests me, which takes my interest beside neoliberalism nowadays, and of course beside collaborative management of national park. I mean, somehow it is related with my research about collaborative management of national park because of the involvement of those people in the management, especially when it comes to private sectors like geothermal companies, mining companies, plantation companies, etc., which are owned by people who have power. Like reading about their stories, the people really make me feel like watching Indian movies, just like a mafia, and then they become rich. They built a small company and then became big because of illegal logging, etc. And then they become rich, and then they help people. They give money to people, and then they are appointed or assigned as the representative of the legislative or executive in the state or in the country. Therefore, the tendency is similar between several countries, and I don't want to give solution because I'm not an expert, but I think it will be just like I said in my previous post about corruption. Maybe it will be interesting to see the perception of people about corruption. Like those who are helped by people who are corrupting may think that corruption is okay because they can survive because of those corruption things. Therefore, we may have to fix a system which is very difficult. But somehow learning from previous JICA project, at first we wanted to eradicate the middlemen, but then we realized the importance of middlemen as well, and they need jobs as well. Therefore, the project tried to involve the middlemen as well. But then, of course, we have to calculate the profit get by the middlemen and by the farmers. I mean, it should be balanced between farmers and the middlemen. That's the ideal condition. So in terms of corruption, that is also can be part of the solution. I mean, I said I don't want to give solution, but this could be options. Like the powerful people, they can still be powerful, but they have to remember that there are many people need to survive, and therefore, okay, thank you for watching. Hello guys, I decided to make the second video, and this is going to be for YouTube. Continuing the first video that's saying about the powerful people should have a balance, should consider that people need to survive. Maybe they have been considering, that's why they make companies, that's why they give money to people, but probably what makes corruption is unacceptable is because the rich become rich and the poor become poor. I mean, the rich become richer and the poor become poorer. Therefore, there should be a balance in natural resource division or utilization. So I don't know what kind of balance. Like, for example, in national parks, if I can tell, if plantation, if we are agreed that plantation, palm oil plantation is not good for a certain area, or it can be built only in certain hectares, or and without endangering the species, like endemic species like rhinoceros, etc. Like geothermal company, if they want to build factories, and of course they cannot harm the species, endemic species, especially like rhinoceros, etc. So there is part of the development as well, that we have to consider the knowledge of indigenous people. We call it as indigenous knowledge. So if I can conclude, first we have to be balanced. Like, I'm talking to you as well. If you are that powerful people who have a lot of money and who do corruption, I do not blame you. I mean, you may already help so many people, but at the same time, you also make people suffer. That's why they demonstrate. That's what I want to talk. So there should be a balance. If you feel like you are enjoying your time with your money in a country, you are enjoying a concert in a country while you are in jail, so do you think people will accept that? Of course not, right? Therefore, like, there should be a balance. And what kind of balance? You will know what kind of balance is that. Number two, considering people perception, including indigenous people, what we call as indigenous knowledge. There is what I have been reading about indigenous people and indigenous knowledge from Tania Murali, that maybe just like the untouchable people in India, seems like indigenous people have been invisible, had been invisible, but nowadays we try to consider. Even one of the courses in my school, GSID, we have indigenous development courses, which means we have to consider indigenous people and indigenous knowledge. So we have, at least I can talk about those two, balance and considering people perception, including indigenous people and indigenous knowledge. Okay, I'm not talking this because I'm the expert. I just want to share my opinion, and I hope, I mean, I still have a lot of obligation as well. Like, I still have so many debts, like so many, and I'm trying to pay for them as soon as possible. But for sure, I don't want to do corruption, of course. Therefore, just think, when you want to do corruption, just think. When you are the victims of the corruption, just think, why? Okay, thank you for watching. Hello guys, I decided to make the third video. So the third video is about if you are the victims of corruption. If you are the victims of corruption, beside thinking, of course you can consolidate your ideas and facilitated by several stakeholders or institutions or associations like NGO or INGO, and you can voice up your ideas and thoughts and opinions. But something for sure as well, not only you actually, we need to create a better system where you can get a better job, and beside voicing up, for example, creating your own job, if it is better for you, it is becoming an option. I mean, so you will not depend on those powerful people. And I believe, like in Quran, I'm not a religious person, but in Quran, like we can use the Prophet Nabi Muhammad SAW as the example, that he sells with his wife Siti Khadijah. He sells good things. Therefore, I think selling good things, just like what Instagrammers and all people have been doing, are good things as a businessman or businesswoman. So, especially in this COVID situation, if you are not able to find jobs, maybe you can create jobs like selling things, etc. But if you find jobs, I'm sorry, maybe something. Okay, maybe that's all. Thank you very much for watching.